Okay, so now that we've got the data coming in, we hope, then how do we actually print out the list of categories? Now, hopefully you should have some idea of how to do this, I would hope. And so instead of returning hi, let's return something real again. And so what we're going to do is just put something in here to go print out. So I create an actual div so we can style it eventually. And then in here, I'll just do like a H5 and say these are the project types. Okay, and then I'll put a, well, I think that's fine. So then, again, I'm going to create another div. So we're going to style all these things in a little bit. And so I'm creating divs because it makes it easier for us to style it. So in here, what are we going to do to get all the project types? Well, what's React's favorite way to get the project types? And the answer is it loves to do the mapping. And so it's its preferred way. You can do a for each loop, you can do other things, but I'm going to go in to the categories variable that we created up here, and I'm going to map this variable, and I give it whatever name I want to here, blah. This is the name of the thing. As we're going through one at a time, what's going to be returned is the individual blah elements for each row. Okay? I don't really want to call it blah. Let's call it something meaningful. So I'll say C for categories. Now the song C is for cookie is popping into my head. And then we do the arrow function. And then in here, I go in and say, well, what do I want to do each time we get a new one in this loop, so to speak? Well, what I want to do is create a new div and give it a key. This is going to be our row, because what I want here is checkboxes. And so I'm going to say, well, let's keep track of which one we're on. Remember that for each mapped element, we want to have a key so we can say, you know, specific things about that specific element. Random. And then in here, we can say, so div key equals whatever's in C, which is just going to be the project name, but that's all we have here. I mean, we could pass in an ID if we wanted to, but we don't need it for anything specifically. We can just use the name. They're going to be unique because we're doing that distinct. Each name is going to be unique no matter what, and so we can use that as the ID. And then in here, I want to create a checkbox, and so I can say I want an input box, but the type is going to be a checkbox. And by the way, if you didn't know that, it's super easy to look up and see, how do I do a checkbox? The ID of this checkbox is going to be equal to whatever is in C, right? And the value of this checkbox is also going to be, struggling to type, the cold's affecting my typing, the value C as well. So we're setting the value and the ID. Everything about this checkbox is going to be equal to that, whatever the name of the project is, the category. And then that's just a checkbox. It doesn't have anything like, how do we know which one we're checking? And so we pair those with a label. And then I'll just tell the label, this is HTML for, and then it's going to be HTML for whatever's in that C variable as we loop through, so to speak. I say so to speak because I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's actually a loop, or if it does it kind of all at the same time, that spread operator. There's got to be some looping involved. And then what are we going to say in the label? Well, we want to say the name of the project, which again, in this case is really super simple. We don't have to say C dot anything. What's in our list here for C is we have if we go back to the API and look at what we've got entries coming in: borehole, well and hand pump, protected spring, rainwater catchment, sand dam, well rehab, borehole well and submersible pump, dug well and hand pump. Each of those things is coming in this array. And so now we take this data to go set that array. And then once we have the array set, we're going into the array one element at a time and calling it C for the category. And then we're using that C over and over again to use that name in different places. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So we've got that. Do we have a closing div tag? We do. What is it not liking here? What happened? We got an opening, closing, opening, closing. Oh, opening here, but I never closed this one. So close div tag there. I don't know why I didn't create one. Save that, and now I think everything looks okay. And so we've got this category filter element. Let's go check it out on our website. Okay, refresh this. Where is it? It's not on here because we didn't put it in. And so we need to get it into our website. We can get it on the screen easy enough. Like if I just go drop it in, so on the app TSX, I could come in above. And what's the name of the element? It's called category filter. Save that. And now it doesn't like that. Why not? Because I haven't imported it. Notice the project list has been imported, but category filter has not. And so I need to go and I can either type it in manually or just say add that import. And then when I do that and save, then when I go back to my screen, we'll see our project types pop in. Now, if it's not popping in, then there's a problem. And I've seen now, having worked with a lot of students, we can get an issue with HTTPS in particular. And so if it's not working with our HTTP route, right? And again, you can control click or command click on this, and it will pop up the data. If you're not getting data there, what's the problem? What's the reason? And so in the .NET side, remember that we are serving the data on both HTTPS localhost 5000 for secure HTTP and 4000 for the unsecure HTTP. It's on both. And so if it's not working in your project, you can go in and say, let's try 4000 instead and use HTTP. Now, if I do this, it should run exactly the same in the project. Oh, and maybe it won't. I was not expecting that. I was trying to show you a good example. What did I do? So HTTP. So again, I'll control click on this, and it pops up the data, but it's grabbing the 5000 version. Hang on. Let me try that again. Did I not save? I bet you didn't save. Haha, save. Let's go back. Refresh. No. Okay, this is bonus content that I was not expecting. Control click. Why is it grabbing oh, well, yeah, why is it grabbing the other version? So if I take this and just copy it, and then go up to my website and paste that in, I'm getting data, but it's getting it on the secure side. Huh. Looking at the clock, I'm going to take a minute and look at this one. This was not the purpose of what I was trying to do. Well, I will let you see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new window, but incognito, so that it doesn't have the previous stuff. And it's redirecting me to the HTTPS. Well, maybe that's the problem, is I have this statement in here. Not a problem, this is a fine thing, that I can use HTTPS redirection. So when they send me this, send them to the HTTPS instead. But that's the point I was going to get at. If you're having issues with HTTPS, then run these commands. We say .NET dev-certs HTTPS clean, which will get rid of any certificates that you have. And then you can say .NET dev-certs HTTPS trust, and it will redo your certifications, and you can say yes, make sure you say yes, accept those certifications, and then HTTPS should work. All right, I'm running out of time here. What we need to do next is on my, but we're still not running. We're still not getting the data, so I got to fix that. I'll do that in the next video. Spencer, out.